Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, is supported by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with code Club at 22. Your balls will thank you.
Waka waka, everybody, and welcome to Club Deck Corner here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. In a week of snowballs and songs, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst finishes the end of his first week as Rangers manager with 2 wins. I am your host, Scott Carney. Full house tonight. Ali, how you doing?
Not too bad. It's December tomorrow, so I can open my phone. I've not even got a calendar. My mum always buys me a calendar, even at the age of 36, for God's sake. I look forward to having a chocolate every morning in December.
Mommy's boy. Ryan, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll be. The thought of chocolate just now makes me feel sick after I just demolished a tower burger with pulled pork on it. So I've not been thinking about my advent calendar probably for a couple of days yet. But yeah, it's all good tonight. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, Scotia, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. Looking forward to December. It's football sort of non-stop throughout the month, so it's always a good month for sitting watching the football. Rangers.
It is, mate, but it's also ludicrous because we've got to do it so we get a winter break. It's a double-edged sword, really. But so Club at 22 is supported by Manscaped, the best in men's below the waist grooming. Go to manscaped.com, use the code Club at 22, you'll get 20% off plus free shipping. Your balls will definitely thank you. And we have launched a sort of subscription service, really, or a membership of the YouTube channel. So you can become a Club at 22 supporter for only 99p. All you need to do is click the join button below this. You'll be helping supporting this podcast. And if you don't want to become a member, you can buy us a coffee. There's also a button underneath that, a link underneath this that buys a coffee. If you want to make a donation to the podcast, that would be great. Thank you to everybody that has done so far. It really is much appreciated. And stick around for details of our first ever live podcast show from the Viceroy. We'll bring you details of that later on in the show. So we start with a quick reaction to the comfortable win over Livy on Sunday. Mr. Saturday Night, Joe Aribo and that man from Zambia gets Rangers 3 points on a winter's afternoon in Livy. Van Bronckhorst after the game said he was very happy with the 2 goals at the start, not so happy with the goal we conceded, as well as the performance level at the end of the first half, but was very happy with the dominance Rangers showed in the second half and happy we got the third to secure the 3 points. Ryan, you were at the game. As everybody's well aware that they've watched our reaction, we did quite a thorough reaction. So your fault, Scott Arfield got booked. So how was the game, mate? How did you, watching it live, how did you feel about the game?
Well, firstly, I think I'd probably take this opportunity to apologise to Scott Arfield for getting booked, even though he didn't leave the field of play. But what VAR didn't pick up was, I actually said to Arfield when he approached me, I said, Scott, just enjoy yourself on the pitch. Stay away from me. But Morelos actually stood in front of me, so you couldn't see me saying it. I really enjoyed Sunday. It was brilliant. I think there's definitely negatives. You can tell Van Bronckhorst's not 100% happy, but I think the positives more than outweigh the negatives. I think we're a lot more direct. I know it's only 2 games in, but I do think we're a lot more direct with our play. There was a wee spell where we were just trying to draw Livingston out. But no, I think there's a lot more direct play, and he swaps Hadji and Aribo about a lot. He seems to like to do that, whether it's to support Tav or I don't know. And I like this Patterson thing that he's doing as well. I like that he's bringing Patterson into the fold a lot more. But yeah, I was more than happy with Rangers and Mr. Aribo, as I call him, Mr. Consistency, as I call him. He is, if he keeps playing like this, it won't only be Aston Villa that's coming knocking at the door for him, because he is a shining light this season, and what a goal that was for us.
Yeah, he was tremendous. He really was. That goal gets better every time you see it. As I say, I've watched it many, many times. Ali, your views changed much?
No, I thought it was a good performance by Rangers. I think we all had a bit of fear in us because of what we've seen this season. when Rangers concede, and especially it goes 2-1 for quite a long period of time. But looking back in the game, Rangers never in bother. Livingston really did nothing the second half of the game, and we deservedly got the third. Probably could have maybe got another couple of goals, to be honest. But it's one of these tricky games. Livingston, even at ground, you never go there. I mean, you see Celtic this year have been beaten and drawn with them already this season, and they're a stuffy team, Livingston. They're well organised. Obviously, that part gives them an advantage. I did think when it did snow, it would help us in terms of the park. It would speed up the play of the ball. I did notice near the end it was slowing down a wee bit. So overall, I was delighted. If somebody told me before you're going to win 3-1 away at Livingston, I would have snapped it right there. So I was absolutely delighted. And to me, it's just another away game ticked off, and we roll on to the next one.
Yeah, Scotia, it's never a place Rangers go and tend to have an easy afternoon of it. But I mean, I've watched the game back, and especially that second half, it was pretty easy Ozzy for Rangers, to be honest. It was quite a convincing win.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at it, I've not watched the full match back, but I've watched it in bits and pieces for periods, and yeah, I'm a lot happier than I probably was after the game with the result, because I think directly after the game, it completely went out my mind that we were playing in a plastic pitch. So I was just giving a reaction like of what the performance was like, not really taking into account the pitch. And as you say, in the second half, it was a really controlled, comfortable performance. Whereas during the game, I think it was probably just because we were only up by 1 goal that I was feeling a wee bit nervous. But once you watch it back in bits, you're a lot more comfortable. One of the things I did pick up on was for their goal. I know we spoke about it being Golson's fault. I was watching it back, and part of me thinks McGregor could maybe do a wee bit better as well with the rebound save. Certainly a younger McGregor would have done, because it was a very similar sort of attacking play that they done right after we'd scored the first goal. And it kind of resulted in similar, like the ball going over Goldson and McGregor making the save. But unfortunately for that second one, he just couldn't get to the rebound. But yeah, very pleased all in all.
Typical defender back in actual defensive mentality there, slating the goalkeeper.
Just blame the keeper. Yeah, that's a huge defender thing.
Not blaming him. A younger McGregor would have done better. I think he would have got to it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. To be honest, Coach, that's a wee bit harsh. I think you have to remember the age McGregor is, and for the fact that he can go down. I mean, he's older than me, and if I dive for the first one like that, it would take me about 3 or 4 minutes to get back to my feet. Never mind a couple of seconds. So, I mean, no, of course you're not. No, of course you're not. I think the biggest thing I feel bad about the game on Sunday is that guy with the one shovel. He must have started clearing that pitch at about 3 o'clock in the morning in order for that game to go ahead. So he's did a hell of a shift, that lad. So that's probably the only bad bit I feel about that game. But I wanted to just discuss Van Bronckhorst's first 2 games. What have we learned, if we've learned anything at all? So Kent and Hadji, the width thing that everybody's talking about. Ali, I'll come to you. Maybe not so much with Aribo and Hadji, because as I can't remember, I think it was Ryan that mentioned that Aribo and Hadji are swapping positions quite a lot. Kent is very much not leaving the left-hand side. So you expect this to be something we see going forward now, that Ryan Kent is definitely a winger?
Yeah, I prefer him out there. Always prefer him out there. And you can see he's been told to kind of hug that touchline a bit. Same with Alfie, told to stay through the middle. He did drop a wee bit in that Livingston game to pick balls up. When he gave balls away as well, Alfie, it just wasn't a great game for him. But yeah, you can see subtle changes. In terms of Ryan's saying, we're mixing up a wee bit. We are going route one a lot of the time. We're bringing them out and playing balls over the top. Goldson, I know he had a couple of shocking passes at times, but he did pull off, like we said in the aftermatch, a couple of Hollywoods as well. So they're mixing up Rangers, and he's changing it throughout the game. I did notice in the first half, it wasn't for long though, but Ryan Kent switched wings at one point and Hadji came over the other side. So he is constantly kind of changing. Gerrard, when he was under Gerrard, he would say we did change slightly in games, but you wouldn't really notice it that much. But under Van Bronckhorst, and he's only been in the door Christ, I don't know, a week now or something. He's had 2 games. He's not had a solid week to drill the team yet, and he's not going to get it, I think, till a week before Christmas, like I said before. But you do notice the changes now, and it's positive. He's getting a wee bit out of some players. I did say I think Hadji could be a player for him going forward. He's a type of player I think he'll like. So Scotia will be happy about that. But no, I'm delighted so far with them Broncos. 2 wins out of 2. The test for me is tomorrow night against Hibs. That's a big test because, let's be honest, Hibs didn't destroy us at Hampden, but they beat us comfortably and they deserved their win. So they'll have their tails up for it. So for me, that's the big test for Van Bronckhorst. Can he get that one? And if he gets that one, then I honestly think we could motor through December. I really do.
Hope so. Ryan, I'll come to you. Just something about Ali mentioned in there about the Route 1, and it's more about the passing differences. And the quite early on, I think Van Bronckhorst he's probably offered the players the freedom to pick the pass that they think they should be hitting, and kind of giving them more. Don't just go backwards. If you can go forwards kind of thing. Because a lot of the times with Gerrard, we used to get very frustrated, especially this season being a goal down. It was side to side, no forward, nobody even taking a risk. But the Arfield's goal in particular, it actually starts with McGregor, and we work it into the midfield. There's a good bit of one-touch passing in the midfield, and then Arfield's off on his run. Tav gets the ball, flicks it over the top. To me, it's a superb goal, and I think it's something that Rangers have not been doing. So again, it's kind of almost the same question. Do you think the kind of a wider scope of passing is something that's going to be part of Van Bronckhorst's plan?
Aye, I think it will. I think he'll have analysed the style of play that Gerrard left and what was going right and what was going wrong. The goal, Arfield's goal, was a very last season goal for me, and the way we kind of got up the pitch so quickly. You're going to see I think you're already seeing a variation in the passing with Rangers. There's balls that are getting, especially with Bassey. I quite like Bassey at centre half. I know that's quite a bold statement, but I quite like him because I think he's not scared to kind of take a ping the way Goldson is, because I think Goldson was only centre half that would do that, whereas I'm seeing Bassey kind of bypassing the midfield a few times, and I like that. So yeah, I think Van Bronckhorst are already seeing a variation in his style in terms of passing, which I like because there's no getting away from it. We overpassed it so many times under Gerrard. He likes possession football. Gerrard, he's obviously got a philosophy where if the opponent don't have the ball, then they can't score against you. But we know what defences are like. We know how teams set up against us. You've got to take a risk. So no, I'm quite pleased so far what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think even in terms of the goals that we've scored as well under Van Bronckhorst, it's the not overpassing that's leading to this opportunity. And people did criticise, or people have made the easy assumption that if that was Joe Aribo under Gerrard, he makes another pass there and doesn't shoot. I'm not sure about that because it's one of the ones that it's absolutely perfect for him to shoot. He's got about 2 yards on the defender. It's came to him at a good pace. He's at a good angle. So I think Joe Aribo generally hits that every day of the week, but he wouldn't normally be in that position that he was in. So it's interesting that still sticking on the change of things, Scotia, the change of personnel, change of formations. At the press conference yesterday, he said that it's a big squad with different strengths and qualities. Changing the system is important in modern football, and we will prepare differently for every game, as each game offers different challenges. So this is a wee bit of music to my ears as well, because I do think Rangers became a wee bit stale in the kind of 4-3-3, whereas Van Bronckhorst is not scared to change this. Yeah, we're talking about change of personnel, which we've not really seen yet. Obviously, 2 games he's kept the team remarkably similar, very consistent, which again, I think is a good thing. But in terms of the formations, he's not scared to change it when he feels like he has to.
Yeah, and he's changed it in games as well. You know, we sort of finished that game with a more sort of 4-4-2 like formation than we did now. And again, it was a different formation on Sunday than what it was to the one we played on Sparta Prague the previous Thursday. It was ever so different as well. And I think with Gerrard, they did really only play the one way. And I know they've come out and said that they were making small tweaks, but they were very, very minor tweaks. Whereas the ones that Gerrard's making here are particularly obvious. I think, as you were saying with the bit of width, it's maybe similar to how we played under Gerrard in his first season when we had Candace there playing as a winger. It's a bit more similar to that in some respects, but yeah, he doesn't look scared to change things up during the game. The thing that he said about personnel thing gives me a bit of confidence. You'll come on to it in the press conference, but obviously Defoe was mentioned, and for me it gives I've got it in the back of my mind when is he only in a 6-month loan? So
no, he's a year.
I don't know
sure.
Is it a year? But I don't know if there's an option to recall. I've just got in the back of my mind that Itten might get more game time under Gio than he was getting under Gerrard.
I think Itten and Katic both have the recall clause in it for January, so we'll come on to Defoe later. I don't know what that spells for Itten, to be honest, with what Van Bronckhorst has said about Defoe, but we will come on to that. Ryan, I'm going to come back to you as well, because you did mention having Patterson in the same team. At the press conference, Van Bronckhorst said that he's happy to use Patterson to secure up the defence, but to also use his pace going forward. Now, we obviously seen this first under Gerrard. It didn't last very long. When we did do it, it was very, very brief at this. I'm for it and I'm not for it. I don't want to be too disrespectful to Livingston, but Dan, think we need 2 fullbacks on when we're 3-1 up in a game. No, I particularly don't think that. But for big games, and obviously Van Bronckhorst is still trying to implement his style on the team the way that he wants to play. So, are you for having Patterson in the same team, or is this something that you think it'll be of a short lifespan?
I think he's exploring his options. I do. I think he's exploring his options, and like we've exhausted it with Patterson. He is ready to play, and he's an asset to us. So is Tavernier when he's in the squad going forward for us. He's an asset. There's no doubt about that. I think he's just exploring his options because we are going to come up against tougher opposition than Livingston, than Sparta Prague. We have got some big games coming up soon, and I still think teams target Tavernier down that left-hand side. I do see it. Long balls get played when he's up the pitch, and they do target that side. His right-hand man or his left-hand man, if you're him, isn't having the best of seasons at the moment, so he can be hit and miss. So teams will target us down that side. Is it a bad thing to shore it up and have Patterson on and maybe have that option that, say, we're playing away at Tynecastle or we're playing them at Parkhead? Will he maybe go with Patterson and Tavernier on the same team just to have that contingency on the right-hand side? I think that's all he's doing. I think he's just exploring his options, but at the same time developing Patterson.
Yeah, Ali, do you think this is... we're talking about Tav and defensively and whatever else. I gave Tav man of the match on Sunday. I watched the game back, and that moment after Rangers scored where we turned into panic merchants, one of the decisions Tav made to let the defender in, he was miles away from getting the header, and I was like, oh, I forgot all about that. But again, he still got 2 assists, so I'll let myself off for that. But do you think, what Ryan's saying there, do you think we'll see Tav and Tav and Patterson start a game together?
Possibly. I think Ryan's right. Your bigger games, your games against Celtic, Hearts away. You could even say Hibs away tomorrow, though we'll come on to our teams. But European competition, he might to kind of shore up that side, and he does offer an offensive side as well. Patterson. I mean, he's not just he's an offensive. He's the same as Tav. They're both offensive right backs. Do I like them in the same team? I'm in your camp a bit, Carney, at the moment. I don't know. I'd probably like to see it from the start to see, and maybe I could have a run, but at the same time, can we give them a run in the team together at the moment? Because there's so many big games coming up, and there's better players for that position where Patterson would be in. So I don't know. We've got Leon coming up in a week's time, which is a glorified friendly. Does he try it there? He might, because he can. You'll be able to try a lot of things in that game because that really is a friendly. I know the board will look at that and go, we want to win because we get more money if we win, but it really is a glorified friendly. But No, it's interesting seeing it because Gerrard tried it. Remember, he did try it at the beginning of the season, and then we never really seen it again. It's interesting when Bronckhorst's done it twice in both his games. So for me, yeah, I think we will see it going forward, and I think it will be, as Ryan says, the bigger games. If you want to see, we may see it from the start, possibly.
Yeah, Scotia, without trying to be a tactics man, because I'm not really. We can't really play a 5. You can't really play 3 and 2 wings backs because it still doesn't work because you don't have enough, if that makes sense. And we could almost become, God, dare I say it, too attacking, because for them all to be in the team, for Patterson to get his run up and down, Hadji's probably going to need to move in behind the striker. Aribo would probably have to drop deep, or Steve Davis and the 2 centre-backs are just going to be standing there while everybody else is up the park attacking. So it's one of them ones, it's going to be a bit of a balancing act to get right. But a defender at heart, mate, what's your thoughts on Tav and Patterson in the same team?
Yeah, like Ali says, perhaps for the Lyon game, I could see them starting, but for any game with any meaning, I wouldn't want it, and I don't think he will. I think both times Patterson's come on, I think it's been tactical. Obviously, Gio went into quite a bit of discussion about why he done it against Sparta because of their high left back. But for the Livy game, Aribo and Arfield were playing quite high at points, and Kamara was really the only one sitting really deep in midfield. So again, it was probably to take Hadji off to offer a wee bit more protection further back down the pitch. So I want Patterson to develop as a right back, selfishly for me, in terms of I think he's really good there, and obviously for Scotland. Also, I was thinking about this, and it reminded me of when Advocat came in and he brought Rino Gattuso back to right back, and Rino went in the huff. I don't think Patterson would do that, but that annoyed me at the time because Rino was a bit a cult hero of mine at that when I was that age. Yeah, so I've always got that in the back of my mind. So it could potentially happen for the Lyon game, but for a competitive game, I think it'll maybe just be, we'll see that happening if the tactics and the way the game's going sort of calls for it.
Yeah, if and when. I think, yeah, I'd go along with that. If and when it's required, it will happen. Ryan, just quickly before we move on from this, we had our say on the post-match on Sunday about Morelos. What was your thoughts of Morelos on Sunday? I think in the space of 2 games, you have seen the good and the bad of Alfredo Morelos.
Oh, you definitely have. You definitely have. Like, the Hibs game, not to jump back there, but I think we're all collectively saying that he was nothing short of disgrace, his attitude on that game. But then he pops up with 2 goals in Europe, the 2 goals that we need, and it's what he does. He's a goal scorer, create a chance for him, bang, he scores a goal. 2 goals. Didn't have his best game on Sunday. Set that one up. He set that one up for Aribo. This is just what you get from Morelos. Just sometimes it's happening, sometimes it's not. I don't think his attitude was anywhere what it was at Hibs, so I'm not gonna slate him. But yeah, he didn't have his best game. The pitch, I'm not going to blame the pitch. No, I'm not. His link-up play sometimes is terrible. I mean, his first touch and it is poor at times. It's something I picked up on it years ago because where I sit, the players warm up in front of me and they do like a piggy in the middle. I don't know what it's called. The modern day footballers call it Rabona or something. No, it's not Rabona. I can't remember. But piggy in the middle, and see when Alfie's on the outside and they're keeping the ball off somebody, he's always the one that loses the ball because his touch is so bad and you can see him getting in the half and having to get in the middle. And so that's just him. That's what you get from him. But if you create a chance for Alfie, he's going to score. And if he doesn't score this one, he'll score the next one. He's our striker. We just stick with him. And I touched him on Sunday, so not really caring.
That's amazing. That's quality. That's brilliant. No, I think we all agree it was just one of those days for Alfie. Look, he got an assist, he did, but everything else didn't really come off for him. But I fully expect him to be firing tomorrow night. I think he loves a game against Hibs. Well, usually, apart from the cup game, he usually loves a game against Hibs. And we'll all just be nodding dogs here. The one thing we have definitely learned is that there's still work to do in the defence. Yes.
Indeed.
Yes. Very much so. That's a whole nother podcast. So we'll move on. Today was the AGM, all rather straightforward from all reports. Ryan, do you want to take us through the kind of main points of it, mate?
Yeah, so I wasn't at it, but I did catch up on Heart and Hands. David Edgar did a quick pod when he came out AGM, which was pretty decent for a update for us. Took some notes and I watched a bit of it. If anybody didn't know, you can watch it on Rangers TV or on YouTube. It's about an hour. I've watched about half an hour of it. It's actually worth a watch, to be honest. And it was very, very similar to an AGM over the east end of the city last week, where it was all about Rangers. I'll just go over the kind of notes I've taken. So Stuart Robertson said the club are close to financial stability, and despite reports, we do not have to sell any players. Then the $7.5 million was reported on our annual financial reports. The investors have already met that, so there's no concerns there. James Bisgrove also spoke about the current Castro deal. He said that was going well. However, the club will still look to go into the market due to their capable sales record. The Ross Wilson thought he was really good in it. As I said, I give it a watch. He was really good. He spoke well. Spoke about the player contracts. He said older players, that'll be reviewed. Their contracts will be reviewed at the end of the season. Non-contributing players will be moved on. I'm thinking Barker. Who else? Not Andy Firth, because he'll probably be Doxy Bear or something like that.
I know. I shouldn't smile when you say Barker, but I did.
It's the first player that came to mind, but I reckon he'll be one of them that's moved on. There's probably another few that I can't think of. And contributing players, this was probably more notable. Ross Wilson said the model on the salary will not be broken. And he also mentioned that he sees the players day in, day out, and he didn't. I think he's been quite targeting a certain player with this. He said it wouldn't be fair to label any question or commitment on players based on their contracts of renewing a contract or not wanting to renew a contract under the current model we have. For me, that was very clearly talking about Connor Goldson, and I actually had a wee think about that. And if that's what Ross Wilson said, if he's saying that Connor Goldson looks committed every day, then maybe Connor Goldson is committed and he's just come out after that game and just not been the best person to speak to after the game. But it certainly made me reevaluate my opinion, because if Ross Wilson's seen him every day and he thinks he's committed, then I'm sure he is. In the last, just a couple of Q&As I've noted down, Stuart Robertson was asked about safe standing and he said it wasn't a priority. I don't know what you guys think. We can speak about that in a minute. I don't think Rangers will ever go for safe standing because of the Ibrox disaster. I just don't think it's something we'll ever explore. And disabled facilities as well. He said that they have to improve in the stadium. They're pretty behind the times. And finally, the Walter Smith. He was asked about a Walter Smith tribute and whether it would be a stand or a statue. And he said there are a lot of opinions on that, and they're up for discussion at the moment.
Yeah, it was all rather straightforward. I'm glad to hear about the Walter Smith thing. I think it's fully deserved for something to happen. I think there's scope for it to happen. So, be it a stand, be it a statue, I'm glad the club are opening to that. Ali, again, it was all pretty straightforward. And who would have thunk it, mate? We're not going into admin.
If I know, the other side of the set will be gutted, won't they? They're going to talk about now. I thought it was pretty straightforward. I mean, I was just seeing snippets in Twitter today. I was at work, so I just seen bits of it. One of the ones I did take from it, and we actually forgot to mention in the podcast the other week, was Rangers have hired a new customer service manager who's going to oversee everything, which is good because we've had the discussions on here many a time about ticketing,
how bad
websites,
the website that is. Yeah.
I think Stuart Robson came out and agreed and says it is absolutely terrible, a shambles. I think he might use the word. So there is now a main person in charge of a team now that's going to oversee this. So I think going forward we should see improvements in that, which I thought is a big thing, which means they're listening to Rangers fans in terms of getting somebody in. So I thought that was good. But overall I thought it was routine. I don't think there was really much to touch on in terms of what's happened. Obviously they had the trophy there. I think Douglas Park said it's back where it belongs, which was nice to hear from him. So apart from that, like I say, routine to me, that's what it was. And All about Rangers.
Yeah, all about Rangers. Scotia, obviously good to hear that we don't have to sell players. However, we do know we will sell players, but I think that was we will sell, but you have to offer the right price.
Yeah, I would argue we do need to sell players, but not for probably what Robertson was getting at. There's in a financial sense. But I think we need to be selling players to freshen up the squad and keep it turning over. But I think he was probably just purely focusing on the financial aspect of it. So no, that is good to hear from that. Yeah, Ryan covered a lot of the points really well. I was kind of keeping up to date with what Mark Dingwall from Follow, he was putting out quite an extensive list on his website. There's a couple of wee things that I picked up on. Was that Edmiston House will obviously be finished by the end of 2022. And what they're planning to do with the existing Rangers store is either turn that into a sports bar or some other kind of facility for the match day experience, which is quite good. I think you should probably...
Did you like it because it said sports bar and you were like, oh, I want to go there?
No, I'm happy enough drinking along Paisley Road West and in at Loudon and stuff. So I think that should probably be another space for people that don't want to go to the pub to go to. That would be ideal for that.
Scotia, have you got your Edmiston House package thing yet?
Oh, it's still delayed, mate. I probably won't see that until next year some point.
End of 2022, that's when you'll see it.
Probably.
You'll see Edmiston House first before you see that package, mate.
Yeah. Another couple of things he'd mentioned is the merchandise and stuff. I think this year or last year was about 14 million, and they're aiming to go up to 27.5 million. It's going next year, so that's quite ambitious, I think, but good if it can pulled off. And then on the commercial partners, we always get bombarded with Rangers had announced new partnership with such and such. Last year we made 3 million. That by the end of this year we're looking at a 7 million kind of, which again is good. And although we might get annoyed with us announcing a new partner every second day, it feels that sometimes it's paying dividends in terms of getting money into the club.
Yeah, definitely. It's all good. Is it any wonder Castor sent you this week? We bring you Tuesday range. Here we go, and here's Sunday's range. No, I know. I think Castor. The Rangers are becoming very attractive because of how much we'll sell. If the product is correct, if the colour is correct, if the badge is correct, then we'll sell. It's really as simple as that. We're a global brand at the end of the day, so we are very attractive to kit manufacturers and brands. So no, as I say, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, it was very, 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 very routine. Just one word. This isn't if we want safe standing to happen. It's whether if you think it ever will. Ryan, do you think it'll ever happen?
No, I don't think it will ever happen, and for the reasons that I said before, because of the Ibrox disaster, we're in a different. The club has been affected by that. And I don't think we'll ever go back. I think it'd be probably a bit of an insult to the families that lost people, and I just don't see us ever. They might explore it, but I don't see us ever doing it.
Yeah, I would tend to agree, mate. I think as well, the having to move people that have sat in that seat for an X amount of years and stuff is not great, and it's not just so they can get safe standing. Look, I think it would improve the atmosphere. I do all that. For me personally, I would never go there to stand and watch a game. I'm very happily in the seat that I'm in. So, but I can get people why people want it, why people don't. It's one of them things, but I don't think it will happen. Ali, do you think it will ever happen?
Same as you. I can't see. I know the other side of the city have got it in terms of the seat folds up and folds down for certain games, but I can't see it. And from reading his comments today, it's way back the list at the moment. Yeah,
Scotia, you agreement?
Yeah, I think so. And I picked up on something. I think it was in Follow today that someone had made a point that obviously the Union Bears are in at the Brimlin, and they stand up anyway, I think, during the game. So, they do that. But if you were put safe standing into the Brimlin, if we get Celtic in the Cup in an earlier round, because of the Cup ticketing allocations, they get the whole of the Brimlin. So they'll have our safe standing section if it gets stuck in there. So it would probably have to get put in the Copeland.
Yeah. I think that's it. That's exactly it. I think the way they were looking at would be the Copeland behind the goal. So I think that would be it. Look, it wouldn't affect me personally because I sit in the club deck. 3 of us sit in the club deck. Brian, you're in the Govan stance, so Sandy Jardine stance. So it wouldn't affect us. But I don't see the club doing it. As I say, people will have their opinions on whether that's a good or a bad thing, but it's really indifferent to me. But yeah, just the way what he said, I don't think it will happen. Before we go into the next game, just mentioning that Rangers will be taking on Stirling Albion in the 4th round of the Scottish Cup, due to take place on the weekend of the 22nd of January. So a good game to come back to after the winter break. Home tie. It's a conspiracy. Now we'll move on to our next match, which is Wednesday night, and it sees Rangers out for revenge at Easter Road. So the press conference was yesterday, due to the AGM being today. It was Van Bronckhorst and Sakala. So Van Bronckhorst had this to say. He said Roof may be back in the squad for Wednesday. Helander is back in the pitch, but not yet with the team. Hopefully back with the team in December. On Sunday, he said he was very pleased with performance, especially on the plastic pitch. Mentioned again losing a bit of control of the game at the end of the first half. On the Hibs game, he says it'll be a difficult game. We have looked back on a defeat in the Cup and the defeat that we rightly so lost, but it's a new chance to get 3 points. Revenge, really, as I think everybody is calling it. And on the change of shape and formations, he said it's a big squad with different strengths and qualities. Changing the system was important at modern football. And on Sakala, he said he's happy to use him anywhere in the final third of the pitch along the front line. Bashi was really happy with the performances. He can play at centre-back and he's very open to learning, gives good energy into the team. And then Jermaine Defoe, he's only a player, so we may see more of him this season. Ali, good news about Roof and Helander. Not so good the fact that there was no mention of Balogun, but what's your take on the Jermaine Defoe thing?
Defoe? Yeah, pretty much when Roy Mackay came in, he's a strikers coach. They're not going to have 2 strikers coach. So thought the writing was on the wall for Defoe. So at least he was on the bench. So will he go in January? Possibly. They might do a deal with Defoe in January if he'll probably walk away, Defoe, to be honest, if that's what he wants to do. If he wants to play football or go and coach, because he's obviously not going to be coaching the Rangers from now on. That's understandable from Bronckhorst to want his own guys, and he's obviously brought Roy Mackay in. So, yeah, Defoe will be there as a player from now till at least January. So, he's a good option, though, Defoe. I mean, he is a good option. I think Ryan mentioned it a few weeks ago in terms of if we had Defoe in one of these games, he would be a good option to bring on, because nobody liked Defoe to bring on. Sakala's a wee bit different, always come on and score, but Defoe's that poacher you want. So I think he's a good option to have on the bench if you want him on the bench to bring on for 15, 20 minutes at the end of the game. And that's what he's going to be. He's 39 years, Defoe now, I think. So, yeah, like I say, he'll be there to January at least. Then they might have a discussion in January of, do you want to stay or do you want to go somewhere else?
Yeah, Ryan, he was only on the park for 2 minutes and he still got a shot on target, so he's still got something about him. Oh
yeah, he's definitely got something about him. He always have something. He's very like McCoy that way. He's just got that striker's instinct and he'll always have it. I said when he came on, I turned to the boys and I said he'll score here. It's like but you just know he'll try and get a shot away. I like Defoe. I'm not a kind of fan who says, "Oh, someone's too young or someone's too old." I think if you're good enough, and that's it. Defoe is good enough to play for us if he's fit. He can play and he'll put in a performance. He'll score goals for us. If Van Bronckhorst is going to play him from now to the end of the season, whether that's just cameo appearances, whatever, he will score goals. That's what he does. So if we create chances, I'm more than happy to see him playing for Rangers again. Because I was a bit disappointed that, not that Gerrard put him in a coaching role, but just kind of put him in a coaching role and then, right, that's you. You're kind of done. It was like, so is Defoe never going to play for us again? It gives us a different option. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, Scotia, he was probably pretty delighted the fact that Rangers are playing Stirling Albion in the first game back, because he's going to be hanging about for a bit and he's probably a sure on to start that game.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, it gives us another option up front and a slightly different option, more direct than the other guys do. And obviously, when January comes around, our priority in terms of signings is going to have to be centre half, because depending how bad Balogun's injury is, he's likely to be going away to that African Cup of Nations, so he'll be gone for a while. Bassey could potentially be going away to that. So we've got no one in defence then, so we really need to buy a defender. So I think you'll see Defoe sticking around to give us that option in an attack. Like Ryan said, he disappeared after a game or two in August, and then never seen him again. You've seen him in Sky TV when we were actually playing a game ourselves. So I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, I'd keep him around till the end of the season, and I think it would be a good option for us. Like you say, games like Stirling Albion, you obviously, did they start that Livy game last season where he scored that absolutely cracking goal?
Yes.
So like games like that at Ibrox, I mean, we've got Dundee at Ibrox on Saturday there. Is it Dundee?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's the kind of type of game that like Jermaine Defoe could come in and play and contribute to. So no, I'm more than happy for him to be kicking around the team.
You almost talked yourself out the fact that it was Dundee there, mate. Dundee. It's Dundee, isn't it?
That many games in December. Can't keep up.
Yes. No, as I say, I think it's quite interesting. As I say, it's really up to Defoe now, as you've said, Ali. It's up to him what he decides to do now, which you might go, and this is not really for me. I want to go and do my coaching. But I'm glad that he's going to be sticking around. Even if he's not coaching, he's still there to learn off for our strikers and for our youth strikers as well that come up and train with the first team. Then, yeah, I'm all for it. So we'll move on to Sakala, and I could not love this man anymore. David Edgar asked him about his song and his smile as he was waiting to come on, and his response is actually so good that I'm going to play it now.
Yeah, it's a very big motivation to see how fans react when I'm getting on the pitch. I really appreciate the support I'm getting from the fans, and I really appreciate the song they made for me. It's a very beautiful song, very nice one. It can't get off my mind. I always sing it when I'm alone. Yeah, so I'm very happy, and I really appreciate the support from the fans, and it's a very big motivation for me.
He's just so humble. He's so grounded. He's a complete breath of fresh air. I think he genuinely feels privileged and honoured for where he is, and even for every single day. Ryan, I just love this man.
I don't like watching the player press conferences, but I watched that one because you enjoy. He's just a happy guy. He's the kind of guy you like to be around, and I bet he's infectious in that dressing room. Such a humble guy. I think it was our group chat I text to, and I just said it kind of embarrasses you when you see something so happy like that, because I don't know about you, but see during the week I am one torn-faced bastard. Mm-hmm. Like I'm so crabby at work all day, and like I'm being crabby about nothing really. And you see somebody like that who's I've had a privileged background compared to this guy. I've read some stuff for him, and yeah, he's just such a joy to have about, and he's scoring goals for us as well. And there's nothing better than seeing someone scoring goals and smiling in a Rangers shirt. Yeah, he's a fan's favourite already. Where is it he comes from?
Zambia.
I think it's Zambia.
Ali, as soon as I played that clip there, I could still see all yous, and every single one of us just had a massive smile on our face.
Well, if he sings that song on his own all the time, should come into my flat. Honestly, every time I wake up and in the shower in the morning, I seem to sing it to myself, and I think it's just constantly in my head now. It's a good wee song, to be fair. I do enjoy that song, and I did enjoy him at the side of the park when Ryan was getting all the fans to sing it for him on Sunday there, and he was enjoying it. So it was it's infectious the way the wee guy is, and you just want him to do really well for Rangers. I really do, and he comes across brilliant in interviews, and I think he will do well for Rangers. He already has. To come to Glasgow and to a big team like Rangers, it'll take time for him to settle in, and I think he is settling in now, and hopefully he can motor on now, and we can sing that song every week.
Yeah, Scotia, as much of a nice man that he is, and he is a lovely man. Ryan mentioned obviously his background and where he's came from. We've pretty much all came from a very privileged background compared to from what Fashion Sakala's come from. So there is definitely determination in Sakala to succeed.
Yeah, he's he's just so enthusiastic about life, and the way I'm not a religious person, but the way he speaks about his religion and how he is, it's really refreshing to hear that, because I'm so used to like a dour Calvinistic Presbyterian kind of Scottish religious mentality, and just seeing that kind of joy, it's very similar to Marvin Andrews. They're very happy guys, and it's brilliant to see. I mean, I've not read too much into what his background's been like. I really need to go in and look at that, but it makes you smile so much. It's brilliant. I love him already, and he's only been here for less than 6 months.
Yeah, it's incredible. It was so good that I thought I'll need to play that in the pod. Just brilliant from him. It really was. He's just a breath of fresh air. And he's such a good guy to watch getting interviewed. He's like literally like a kid in a candy shop. You just can't believe what's happening to him, and his smile is infectious. So on to Hibs themselves. Since beating Rangers in the Cup, they returned to form with a 1-0 defeat at Ross County. They were then down 1-0 against St Johnstone for 80-odd minutes, and two late goals got Porteous out of jail as he scored the one goal to give St Johnstone something to hold on to. Last time we met them in the league, we won 2-1 at Ibrox. Ali, Rangers are coming to town, so we all know they're going to raise their game.
Of course they will. They could have get beat against St Johnstone and made it 6 defeats in a row in the league. And that I said previously when we played Hibs in the semi-final, we mentioned their form, and I went, throw that out the window because it won't count, and it's true. They show up against us, and to be fair, they show up against Celtic as well, and they'll be up for it. They'll fancy themselves, Hibs. They will. I think I listened a wee bit of Jack Ross. He was kind of saying they'll be slightly wary of Rangers in terms of they're a bit of a wounded animal. When Bronkhorst is in, new ideas. So yeah, but I think they'll have a go at us again, Hibs. I really do. The boy Boyle up front, he's got pace, and that hurts defence, and especially our defence at the moment. We are a bit shaky at the back. So yeah, I think we need to try and keep it tight, and it'll be a tight game. It always is at Easter Road, to be fair, but we owe Hibs one, and I just hope Rangers go out there and give a performance that they should have gave us that Sunday at Hampden. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But like I say, Hibs will be up for this game, and it will be close.
Yeah, Ryan, it's always crucial for Rangers not to concede first, especially the way this season is going. But tomorrow night, Rangers cannot concede first.
Yeah, I said that to my dad last night. I said, I don't fancy us. If we concede first on Wednesday, I don't think we can. To give us a bit of confidence, I do think that's one of the things I've seen in only 2 games under Van Bronckhorst. We are starting games better. Like I say, I know it's only 2 games, but I do feel as if we are starting games better. And it will be a conversation that Van Bronckhorst had with the players. He's, like I say, I've looked at the previous performances before he came in, and it has been an issue for us. That issue is gone. I fancied Rangers to go on and get a result tomorrow night, but Hibs will be up for it. There'll be a lot of long balls and high balls for Goldson and Bassey to deal with, and Boyle is a thorn in our backside. He is a decent player, Boyle, but by God, we made him look like Benzema at Hampden. That can't happen tomorrow night.
Yeah, could not agree more, mate. I literally could not agree more. Scotia, your thoughts of Hibs ahead of tomorrow night?
Well, Ali and Ryan will be happy because Martin Boyle's suspended.
Is he suspended, though? Are you sure he's definitely suspended?
He got a red card against St Johnstone. Him and Doidge got sent off, so they missed the game tomorrow night, so they're both missing. So yeah, I like you were saying, Hibs are going to raise their game. You would imagine. We just need to go out and exact our revenge really on them and put it to bed. But Boyle being out, I think's good for us, hopefully, because he's a decent enough player and he's doing quite well on the scoring charts, and obviously that scar tissue from a few weeks back. But hopefully Rangers have got it in their heads that they really need to go out and show Hibs who's boss, really.
Yes, I would like to think so. There's good news about Boyle being out. Look, again, no disrespect to Hibs. In fact, fuck Hibs, I don't really care. Rangers should be beating Hibs. It's as simple as that. We are better than them. We all know we are. And especially after the disaster that was last Sunday, there's no excuse not to go out and absolutely to get our revenge. Scotia, I'll come back to you. You can go first, mate. Your team selection ahead of tomorrow night, and your predicted score.
Yeah, again, the teams are quite difficult at the moment because I'm not sure how Gio's going to set up, so it'll take a wee while to get that. But for my team, I'm going to go with one change, and it's the exact same team that started against Sparta. So McGregor, Tav, Goldson, Bassey and Barisic, Davis and Kamara, Hadji, Aribo, Kent and Morelos, and 2-1. I'll go. Anyone can score first for us.
You don't care. Ryan, do you want to go next, mate?
Yeah, it's pretty easy for me. I'm going with the exact same team as Sunday, and the reason I'm going for that is because I can't see Davis coming into the team because I can't see who he'll drop. Because you ain't dropping Aribo, you ain't dropping Hadji. I don't think you can drop Hadji. I think he looks as if he might be a favourite under Van Bronckhorst the way he plays, and Arfield's making these runs, scoring goals. I think it'll be the same team as it's Sunday. So I think Davis will sit out again. And I think it'll be 2-0 Rangers. Arfield first goal scorer again.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Ali, team?
Do you say the same team against Sparta, Scotia? Davis coming in for Arfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the exact same team as Scotia. I think Steve Davis will come back in. And I feel sorry for Scott Arfield because I thought he had a good game at the weekend. But I think he'll sit out. Scotia's man Hadji will play, I think, as well. You want a score prediction as well?
Yeah.
1-0 Rangers. That's 2 clean sheets. Ryan went for a clean sheet as well. Though.
That's true. I'll go a wee bit different. Not a wee bit, only 2. Just to see if I can actually get a team right at some point during my podcast career. Davis to come in for Arfield. Again, a bit harsh on Arfield. I just think for letting Kamara to free Kamara up a wee bit, I think he might bring Davo in just to sit there and let Kamara go more forward. And I'm going to say Sakala for Hadji because Hadji didn't score and Sakala did at the weekend. That's literally the only reason because I think Hadji's been really good. And he was unlucky not to score on Sunday. I'm going 3-1 Rangers and Sakala to score first. So yes, that will do us for the Rangers talk. But just before you all go, finally, we are going to be live at the Viceroy on Friday the 14th of January 2022. So tickets are going to be £5. Early access to the tickets are available just now to Club at 22 supporters. So people who have joined the channel right now. So never a better time to sign up. Wink, 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 wink. And general sale will be Friday, this Friday coming, 3rd of December at 6 p.m. They will go on sale. I'll be posting a link on here on YouTube, on the community tab and on our socials, so keep your eye out for that. Due to it being quite a small venue and that it's our first gig and nobody might show up, there is only going to be 55 tickets available for it. We have sold a few already, but there is only going to be 55 tickets available. So a massive thank you to the owners and the staff at the Viceroy for allowing us to do this. Ali, it's safe to say we're all pretty buzzing about doing this.
It's been in the pipeline for a while, hasn't it?
It has.
But we all kind of said if we could hit 1,000 subscribers, and we've done it a lot quicker than we thought we would. I think we're up at just over 1,200 now. But no, it's obviously We Drink down Page Road West. We're named after the Viceroy. The wee lounge bit we're doing it in is quite a good. It's a good wee area as well to do it in. You get a good pint in the Viceroy as well as a good selection of beverages in there. Scotia can testify to that one. You'll get to meet all of us, and especially Scotia, because Scotia's the main man. Obviously, everyone wants to meet him. So I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, there's the dreaded winter break, so it'll be good to sort of do an overview of the first half of the season, and hopefully we'll be reviewing Rangers sitting top of the league at that point during the winter break as well.
Yeah, hopefully. We are going to run a raffle as well. we'll be raising money. The money from the raffle will be going to the Viceroy charity that raises money for defib machines or defib devices, all due in honour of Peter, the previous owner, who sadly died 2.5 years ago. So we'll be trying to source some as many good prizes as we can. Some Rangers related, some will probably just be a bottle of vodka. I'm going to be completely honest, but we'll try our hardest to make the prizes as good as they possibly can be. Scotia, I released a wee video to the Club at 22 supporters on YouTube, and I promised them, and I have warned you that you're allowed 1-2 pints tops before you're allowed on stage.
That's fine with me. That's fine with me. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I'll be helping you set up, so don't you worry.
That's true, mate. You will. You looking forward to it, but mate?
I can't wait. I've been speaking about it for a long, long time, and yeah, really looking forward to it. Actually, I used to do quite a lot of sort of public speaking a few years back in my job, but I've not done so much recently. But really looking forward to doing this, and just excited to kind of speak to Rangers and get a wee Q&A going, like a live interactive Q&A going would be good. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, buzzing for it. Ryan, you looking forward to it?
Oh yes, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm assuming that's going to be the same night that Scotia's doing his shaving.
Yes, it is.
Oh, no chance.
Right, that's all the tickets sold out then. Magic.
Yeah, it'll be sold out. Yeah, his OnlyFans will be live as well that night.
Brilliant, excellent. I'll remember putting a link in the next pod for that. Very much looking forward to it. I think it'll be great. A proper staunch night to talk about Rangers with other Rangers fans there. It'll be brilliant. Just make sure you don't sell any tickets to Aston Villa fans after that pod we did.
Oh, I know, they're after.
I've got a few looking for me.
They're still after you, mate. Yes. So, as I said, the early access is for Club at 22 supporters just now. And the general sale will be Friday the 3rd of December at 6 p.m. The link will be on the community tab on YouTube, and it'll be all over our socials. So if you don't follow our socials, jump over and follow there. It'll be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It'll be on everything. So keep your eye out for that. That'll be Friday 6 p.m. And that'll do us. Gentlemen, just due to the time, I'm just going to say thank you. Just a quick one to all of you. So thank you very much. Speak to you tomorrow night after the football. Shameless plug from me. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the videos, give us a wee 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, leave a comment, follow our socials. It really supports us, makes a huge difference. And that'll do us. As I say, we will be back tomorrow night after, hopefully, 3 points at Easter Road. So until then, we are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. And thank you for listening to us tonight. Cheers.